take down Team Liquid. There's that Gragas that Fudge was talking about. So many teams loving how flexible it is, but even evil geniuses will bypass that as the first pick. Picking up the Jayce. Jojo had one of the very, very high DPM Jayce games so far.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
It's not happening.
Yes. You know what? I'll take the hover as like a shout out. I accept that. Thank you, Summit. Thank you, Base Team Liquid. And we do have the Jayce locked in for EG. The Lee Sin, the first lock-in for TL. Remember, the game that they absolutely terrorized and dismantled FlyQuest, it was off the back of Pyosik's early game Lee Sin play. I feel like this is what they gotta want to be running back. Talon recently got some buffs, so I feel like that's what they're just hovering, trying to tease us a little bit, but I don't buy it. The Jinx, however, I do buy that. It's locked in for Yeon.
You know what's going through my mind when they're hovering this Skarner is Skarner rework, AoE ultimates. That is gonna be. Okay, we'll talk about that later. When that
I'm about to educate you.
When that becomes reality.
All right. Well, let's focus on what we do got here in the draft right now. Remember, it's Kindred, Rakan, Thresh, Annie, Elise, and Varus all banned out. The Aphelios locked in. He can't have his buddy in Thresh. Normally, that's one of his best friends. So I'm curious what they're going to pair with him here in the bottom lane.
Yeah, same. Both of these AD carries work off of defensive supports, trying to supplement, and try and build over some of these defensive holes that they have. But they can also go with stuff like Renata. If you pick too much engage and a big, AoE of melee champions, then Renata's really good for counter engage and can actually lane pretty well with both of those. There's the Gragas, which finally does make its way in here, though.
Powerful flex.
Powerful flex back in. And of course, you always want to balance AP plus AD with jungle and solo laners. I'm assuming this Gragas has a higher percentage chance to go into Ssumday's hand, or Inspired's hands than Ssumday's, but it is still definitely flexible here, so might even be able to draw some top lane mess. Whoa!
Kench!
Tahm Kench a long time. So those defensive holes that I was talking about, trying to build around here, Tahm Kench, the classic for these AD carries that do not have dashes. Team Liquid grabbed theirs here for Jinx to protect it.
Reminder that Team Liquid is officially eliminated from playoff contention already.
Yeah.
So what they're doing here is potentially throwing us into the most chaotic tiebreaker scenario possible if they can beat EG, but they will not be able to earn themselves a spot in playoffs.
And it is CoreJJ, Tahm Kench, one of his famous champions. Had some extremely support carry oriented games, even when he was on net. Bans coming through though for the top lane cover here for Team Liquid, trying to deal with the possibility of the flex for Gragas, as well as taking away some of these enchanters defensive possibilities for bottom side for Aphelios.
Yep.
Whenever I see Tahm Kench, I always want to see, like a pike answer to it, to try and execute through his gray health shield.
Yeah.
Try and pull him in because you can get so much value, but we just don't have a lot of pike players in the LCS, Not a lot willing to go that deep into the extremes for just like support on support counter.
And some Squidward in the audience here, as we've got the Ahri and LeBlanc banned out by EG, targeting Haeri specifically in the second half of the draft. The Ryze locked in for TL.
All right, some roaming possibilities here for Haeri from mid lane. And with Lee Sin, this is a very deadly duo. People always talk about Lee Sin plus LeBlanc, but Lee Sin plus Ryze also very, very good at mid-jungle 2v2s, especially when Jayce is trying to play super aggressive, and Jojo is always turbo aggressive.
Yes. Let's see if they actually want to lock in this long hover on Soraka. Yeah, that'll be it. All right, so bottom lane duo is Aphelios, Soraka versus Jinx, Tahm Kench.
That is a lot of poke damage. The Aphelios plus Soraka here, a lot of damage. We'll see the state of Tahm Kench, how much headway they can actually work through on that health bar, plus all the defensive buffs for melee champions off your defensive support item. And all the potions is going to be chugging through. See if they can actually work through bottom side priority here. But if they lock in, okay.
Nope. All right.
So it's not going to be the blind Renekton. Is going to be the Ksante up on top side. Fudge was mentioning his two favorite counters into it. The Fiora for a little bit more lane. The Gwen for a little bit more scaling.
Both are still up. Both are available. The Jax is also still up. Summit's classic Gnar pick is also still available. The Jayce, of course, another Summit special, but that one's already been taken away, so Summit's on Fiora versus Ksante.
Yeah, and I definitely would prefer this over one of the AP options like the Gwen because you already have Ryze. I would really prefer Ryze to remain solo AP on this team.
Okay.
So they can try and focus on that lane, get some ganks off on Jayce, get that Ryze roaming to the side lanes here. And if Summit's going to have a strong early lane, which lane phase, Summit is still putting up big numbers.
Yeah.
As much as it is super easy to sling insults at him getting caught by junglers later on and the mid game for him and for Team Liquid, his lane phase numbers still popping. So with this Fiora, should have advantage up on top side. We'll see about Lee Sin trying to link up with mid lane in the early stages of the game. And bottom
matter because it's in the rearview mirror. Let's see how it goes. EG fighting for an uncontested third place spot. Team Liquid fighting to spoil that and throw the remainder of the day into some potential calamity. Keep your eyes on Tahm Kench. Keep your eyes on CoreJJ throughout this game. That's who I'm watching to get things rolling for Team Liquid. Pyosik's Lee Sin right next to him.
Especially since CoreJJ has also started with an early sweeper here. So the possibility for an extra invade. Both heading down towards bottom to get brush pressure though.
FBI hanging out in that tri-brush, just making sure nobody's doing any strange invades here. CoreJJ does have bush control in the lane itself. You can see the 5-point spread from EG. They know that they're the ones who still have something to really fight for here in this game. They don't want to have any sort of cheeky level 1 screw up what they're trying to plan here. They're not trying to go for anything wild and crazy just yet. So everything's fine for now. Inspired having the electrocute on the Gragas as well for the extra burst and everything early. I want to see this guy get some good ganks as well. Jojo on the Jayce. This is something that I think EG just has to be so careful with because it is Jojo who's been struggling a lot recently. Now he's going to take more damage from the vitals. Jojo had to flash already. He's dead. Minions collide and he's dead. Jojo not the start he wanted.
I think that he thought he might be okay getting away with just the phase rush burst there. And so that's why he didn't flash the wall immediately. Because I was about to shout out, hey, flash this wall right now. This moment that comes up right here, I was thinking, get out of there. This guy's got Ghost. Summit popped it really early, but you see that phase rush. It looks like EG were making the call, hey, I'm going to run it out with that beast, you know, that boost of speed, but that's not going to be the case. You know, they take too long. They don't immediately flash out of there. And Haeri says, I'll flash this wall. If you're not going to use it to escape, I'll use it to kill you. Haeri gets over and this is not as early as I was thinking. Hey, let's gank mid and get the Ryze fed Flower so he can roam to the other side of the lanes. But I'll take it if that's Team Liquid. First blood already on the Ryze. This just greatly accelerates that game plan I was talking about from draft phase for Team Liquid. So this is really, really, really big stuff for the start. And already you see Inspired coming over on Gragas. He crosses through, doesn't want to waste too much time in the look towards mid. He could see from Haeri's movement, yeah, they still have the wards left around on this top side, so he just passes over towards his red quadrant to continue on the clear. And since he passed through vision, Pyosik comes over to contest red.
We'll see what happens with that potential conflict at the red buff, but I do want to... Oh, Inspired's taking the long way around just to see if Pyosik starts up the red.
Well, you know when you give vision by going through mid, that the enemy jungler has a high possibility of doing this, so Inspired knows what information he's giving over willingly to the enemy, and so he's playing cautiously, playing accordingly, trying to get the earlier respawn on his Krugs as well. Another benefit from going there instead of red. He'll find, hey, yep, Pyosik took that opportunity when I showed through, coming through mid, takes my red. Fair play, that's the price.
Yeah, that's jungling, man. That's the name of the game. But I do want to talk a little bit about Jojo because he has been feeling under the weather in the past couple of weeks. Like, obviously, he's been kind of sick. He's not playing at 100%. But even despite that, throughout this split, I think he's had a lot of mistakes. He's put himself in positions where he can be caught out of position, where he can be punished, where he can end up giving away some of these leads. And it was just yesterday that we saw EG had a decent spot in the game. They were doing pretty well, but Jojo getting caught out on the Veigar 3 times in a row, 2 to big barrels from Tenacity, one from just getting caught out in the bottom lane when he was pushing, it created an opportunity for their opponents to get back in the game. And so really, what I want to see from Jojo here with this third place lock on the line is the removal of some of those pretty easy mistakes.
Yeah, definitely agree. Man, Tenacity was nailing him with those Gragas ultimates. Absolutely on point. His job has made it a little bit more difficult, of course, because he had to blow his flash early, as well as giving the first blood money over to Haeri. So that kind of sets another obstacle in his path. Meanwhile, topside, Ssumday wants to crash this wave. He's trying to crash the wave.
Oh, Sonic Wave misses, and they're not going to use the ward to jump in and try to go for the Tempest Cripple like that. So the wave just gets to crash, Summit will farm it up, and Ssumday goes home.
Perfect for him. Goal accomplished for Ssumday, even with Pyosik kind of hovering around. His bottom side camps are up as well, so Pyosik doesn't want to waste much time. You got to recall, get back down there. Gromp and Wolves already are respawned, and CoreJJ is trying to scout out and control this river. Big, important gank route here for Team Liquid. The highway between mid lane and bottom lane is that entrance for Tahm Kench. See if Vulcan can actually protect his control ward. Doesn't look like he can.
Vulcan staying aggressive here, finding a little bit of poke onto Yeon. They lose the bone plating on the Soraka.
Really good preemptive work done by CoreJJ to open up this bottom triangle of the map for some Pyosik ganks. You know, Lee Sin with flash, with a ward charge right now. Definitely a very dangerous member, and I love the setup from the support. Inspired goes in quickly though, doesn't want to leave this area of the map dark. This is one of the most heavily fought over parts of the map early game, regardless of comps. Pyosik ward hops into control ward.
Yeah, the control ward, seeing that ward drop over the wall means Jojo is able to get back before Team Liquid has the opportunity to engage. If Jojo doesn't immediately fall back there and he's not aware of what's going on, there could have been a flash rune prison from the Ryze. Remember that Jojo's flash is still not quite back up. That's the timing Team Liquid was looking for. Ssumday knocks Summit under the turret. Solo kill in the top lane.
Oh, no, you don't. He didn't even have to use his own ultimate there from Ksante. Ssumday just absolutely embarrasses Summit. Flowers, I feel bad from Champ Select. We were trying to hype up. At least Summit still has his solo lane numbers.
No more.
And he had been racking up that CS lead. He had been doing a great job with his Fiora. He had built up, look at this, like a triple stacked wave he's got built up on Ssumday. But level 5 Ksante, oh my gosh, he dashes behind the riposte, pushes him into 2 tower shots, and with that giant triple stacked wave, takes him down.
I'm sorry, I try to be understanding in most situations, but Ksante has been doing this all split. You go near the turret and he shoves you back and he shoves you back and he shoves you back and you die. Come on, man, where's the awareness? Yeah. Come on, Summit. Well, Pyosik's invading Inspired now. He's got Haeri behind him. The mid lane control allows Team Liquid to rotate their mid laner over, and that means that they've got control over the jungle. Pyosik's going to force Inspired out, steal away this blue. That's going to be 2 out of 3 of Inspired's first buffs going over to Pyosik's Lee Sin, invading him.
Yeah, he's eating up good. Level 6 advantage, too. Guess what, Gragas? You don't even get to play now. Lee Sin with level 6 advantage is definitely a fight you do not want to take. Pyosik going to skip Gromp to get here right when Rift Herald spawns. I actually like this, not showing any greed at all, because it takes so long to take Rift Herald. If your enemy jungle recalls and then runs right back there, he will get there in time as you're about to finish it. So Pyosik doesn't waste any seconds on Gromp. He goes immediately over to it. Inspired still running their beeline from the recall. So that timing I'm talking about is going to be there very close.
Well, Pyosik on the Herald, brings it low, but he can't get it in time. He does secure it, but he can't pick up the eyeball. So Pyosik gets the money, but the actual objective remains on the ground. Ssumday playing bodyguard, so nobody from TL can pick it up.
Yeah, that has happened to me so many times in solo queue. You force the enemy jungle to recall, and you immediately start your Rift Herald, and it's basically a race right then. They come back straight from base, get there just in time to try and smite fight, but Pyosik, quick hands, gets it.
Haeri in trouble. The silence from the Soraka keeps him from casting some spells. He gets taken low, but he's not in danger of any sort of lethal damage just yet.
Look at this wraparound from Pyosik, too. He wants to correct on top side. Ssumday's got to feel pretty aggressive right now after the solo kill. So Pyosik trying to play on it and see if Ssumday gets a little fancy.
Well, Summit is trying to bait him into a fight here. Lunge hits the minion. Vital in a good spot for Summit, but with Pyosik going back and Ssumday having a level advantage, okay, now maybe Summit wants to fight a little more.
I love this from Ssumday, though. He's got a cool head about him. He's not playing overly aggressive. He recognizes that earlier solo kill for what it is.
Yeah.
Hey, you gave me a freebie with some bad positioning. I took advantage. Doesn't mean I'm going to lose my head about it. And bottom side EG off of their bottom push. Good job here. They get the wave in. They rotate over to Dragon. Mid lane pushed out. Bottom lane pushed out. Objective secured. That's by the book for Evil Geniuses. This is what they want. Try and start stacking these dragons. Try and chip away at the gold lead that Team Liquid have been able to build here so early.
Still about a 1K lead for TL, 10 minutes into the game. I'm going to call the neutral objective score 1 to 1/2, just because they did get the money from the Herald, but not being able to pick up the eye hurts a little bit. So EG a little ahead in terms of the neutral game. And yeah, what you're talking about in the top lane, Summit gets solo killed. Yeah, that's bad. But even when we had Fudge on last game and he was talking about the Fiora and Gwen matchups, he said, yeah, Fiora's tougher in lane for Ksante for sure, but Gwen can do more stuff later on in the team fights. So you don't expect Ssumday to just all of a sudden be #1 solo killer top laner for the rest of the match after getting that first advantage, but it feels really good for him. Building towards the Iceborne Gauntlet as well, a much beloved item of Ksante, not used on a whole lot of other champions in the game, as Pyosik's gonna find Inspired here in the jungle. Q1, Q2, the kick, Inspired creating some distance there with his own ulti. Pyosik forces him low, will not get a flash, however.
Interesting. Ultimate trade, but he gets the better of the health trade as well, so he's going to be positive Wolf Steal, uses his smite.
But now, Inspired's got a buddy. You might have an HP lead, but if you don't have a friend lead, you still got to be careful if you're invading the enemy jungle. So Team Liquid's going to back away from that one, just stealing away the wolves, winning out in the health fight like you talked about. Down here in bottom lane, 107 to 104 as the minions are equalized. So Yeon with a very, very, very slight lead. Both of these guys on hyper-scaling AD carries. We haven't got to see the all-in from CoreJJ, the Ignite, threaten any sort of kill just yet. Inspired is down on this part of the map, but that Krug camp is warded, so Team Liquid is aware of the positioning of the EG jungle.
Ooh, love it. Vulcan here silences CoreJJ's attempt to go and get that initiation you're talking about. No W for you, sir. Very easy silence for Vulcan. Very sad B for CoreJJ. Recall's getting off on the reset here. Bottom side, as you said, they are watching Inspired. They know this Gragas going back to base as well after the full reset, and a Gragas with flash is a Gragas ready to make some plays.
Yes, sir.
Maybe now. Ah, man. Well, Jojo wasn't even able to complete his Eclipse either, so maybe Jojo try and quick shove, complete his Mythic here, complete his Eclipse, and then have some fighting for him here to go after Haeri, because pretty early Rod of Ages for Haeri, plus the tier because of the first blood.
Summit and Ssumday just continuing to go back and forth up here a little bit. Pyosik is over the wall, trying to clear out the control ward, but they're gonna jump on him. The burst comes out, Pyosik disengaging with the kick. He has his own flash, he wanted to save it if he could, but there was no way. He would have died, had to flash back over the wall there as EG force out a critical summoner from the TL jungler.
And look at CoreJJ. Another deep roam on the Tahm Kench, replenishing the deep vision on that red quadrant of the jungle before it even expired.
Yeah.
CoreJJ is keeping this bottom jungle of Evil Geniuses lit up like a bright light. Meanwhile, top side, Summit's gonna have to give some ground, and Ssumday gonna get another turret late.
Yeah, that's the goal there for Inspired. He walks up, he couldn't get the gank because of the ward. Now FBI versus Core. Core is incredibly low here. Pops the thick skin before spitting him out. Core does not want to trade 1-for-1, and Haeri guarantees he won't.
That's that CoreJJ Tahm Kench Flowers. Sets it up himself. He's just stacking up his acquired taste as Haeri comes down for the ulti.
Ooh, nice riposte on the ulti from Summit, but it's not enough. He started off too low on health, and it meant that Ssumday and Inspired could burst him down and take another plate.
And so the push on plate on top side here, I think, more than equalized by Yeon getting free fire bottom side turret. Jinx is so happy down there. Rocket doesn't interrupt. Oh, he's getting teleported on as well. That rocket did not interrupt Ssumday, and now Ssumday is coming for payback.
Ssumday said, I saw that.
Guess not.
Unfortunately, he can't catch up.
But he gets a ghost out. Okay. No ghost now for Yeon. Maybe that'll matter for later. Made him sweat a little bit.
Just a little bit. But early on in the game, remember the tank items feel really good before the AD carries get multiple items to deal with them. So not a lot of damage there from Yeon. Here's another look at how CoreJJ set this up on FBI.
I mean, on vision, but CoreJJ Tahm Kench has not been seen for quite a while. He goes real hard with it. Hits the Q to start it out. Walks in, stacks up his acquired taste. Eats the Aphelios, and hand delivers the meal to Haeri. Feeding him like a little baby bird right out of his mouth.
Uh-oh. Pyosik's in some trouble here, trying to get away as a multi-man play from EG for the second Herald brings many of their members to the top side of the map. Summit with a good job on the riposte. Pyosik escapes with his life. Team Liquid maintains their 3,000 gold lead, and now EG, with the enemy jungler forced all the way back into the base, see their opportunity to jump on the Herald.
It's like every time we pan the camera over Pyosik, he's getting away from a 2v1 or a very low health scenario that he got himself into to begin with.
Slippery boy.
He's happy to be 0-0-0 right now with the scenarios that he's gotten himself into. Bottom side though, Dragon.
They don't have their jungler, so they don't want to just continue here on the Drake. Ssumday's down there. He's going to be the one leading the charge for the side of Evil Geniuses. They already got the first Drake. Oh, but a nice shot from Yeon. Guarantees Team Liquid won't give him the second.
And nice dodge here on the skill shots. Escaping as well, doesn't take any extra damage from FBI. It's going to be Evil Geniuses rotating towards mid though with the Rift Herald drop and possibly another attempt on Pyosik's life. They take him away again, but he gets away again.
This is honestly looking really good for the side of EG. Haeri sticks around. I don't really know why. Anyway, they get a kill, they get the first turret, they're gonna get the crash into the second turret, only Yeon is here. EG is gonna force this one down. This will be a massive influx of gold for the side of Evil Geniuses. That was a really good sequence of events for them.
Yeah, and I think it was also a pretty big lapse in communication from Team Liquid. Pyosik just got 3 members chasing him out of blue buff area, so they knew those 3 members of Team Liquid had just taken over the blue quadrant of the Team Liquid's base, excuse me, EG. CoreJJ is dead.
What? Okay, I'm hammer time. I don't know.
But I have to say, that moment right there is something that people have criticized Team Liquid for a lot of the split, was lack of coordination and communication. And it was 3 members of EG taking over blue quadrant jungle. Haeri still teleports to the tower and gets dove by those 3 members.
Tough stuff right now for Team Liquid, losing a little bit of that lead they had built, but at least grabbing the tier 2 in the top lane. Summit accomplished that while everybody from EG was doing the same thing mid. Now Haeri is the one to rotate up top, clear out this massive minion wave, more and more money onto the Ryze. Get this guy closer to that in-game powerhouse state that he becomes. Rod of Age is halfway charged, tier almost all the way there too.
And Haeri is carrying a lot of the gold right now, carrying a lot of the carry potential for Team Liquid. So if they can get him some more solo lane experience, he's pushing out on top side. Summit is getting shadowed by Pyosik. So this is actually going to be a 2v3 with Aphelios coming from base.
That's the big thing. The Aphelios coming down skews the numbers. Vulcan's your first target here. They want to go after the Soraka. Pyosik waits and jumps in over the wall. They go. They want to chase him down and they get him. But now Pyosik might finally die for it. Inspired is down to 300 HP, but he survives. Super Mega Death Rocket takes him out. And Team Liquid get a 2-for-1.
That's a very beneficial scramble for Team Liquid. Nice little move here. I don't know, Vulcan's so far into the rest of them.
Oh! Jojo gets munched, spit back out onto the Flame Chompers. I said he had to stop getting caught, but he can't do it. However, Summit may just die to Ssumday's entrance into the fight, but he gets the heal. The vital was vital to his survival, and it's a double kill back over to TL.
TL gonna stand strong, and they're gonna finish off this turret too. Just melt it down. Yeon Jinx is getting quite fed as well, Flowers. That could become a problem for the Evil Geniuses, who know very well what a fed Jinx player can do, especially around Baron time.
Man, oh man, 5,000 gold up for Team Liquid at 19 minutes. They are only 1 kill ahead, but man, they are building this lead. Let's take another look at how this chaotic sequence started.
Yeah, Vulcan runs head first here into in between both of them. He runs into an own sandwich mode here. Pyosik's like, great, I'll kick you right over to my boy Summit, follow your flash. And in the what ended up as 2v4 eventually, They actually got the first kill for Team Liquid and set up the second for Yeon with a nice little snipe here down onto Gragas. So Team Liquid, out of a numbers disadvantage, were able to get the 2 kills benefit. CoreJJ, as you said, beautiful Tahm Kench delivery once again.
And Jojo getting caught there. Ssumday swooping in, thinking maybe he can finish Summit, but he can't quite do it because of the healing on the Vital Man. Team Liquid loving the state of the game right now, but what do they need to do next?
And look at these items for Team Liquid. 2 core for 3 carries right now with Fiora, Ryze, and Jinx. This is massive, massive power spike for Team Liquid. So you ask, what do they need to do now? They need to force fights on objectives immediately.
You're speaking the language.
Dragon is coming up. Overtake that right now. Push out topside. Ryze has teleport, and Realm Warp will be up very quickly. Haeri is going to be a menace right now. No one can solo answer him, so you force on that side. You force them to respawn. Once they respawn to block here, then you take over Dragon. You take over mid lane first here, actually, with the siege from Yeon. Jinx, I love trying to use low health turrets as the initiation for your team fight here.
Right.
A little bit of surprise bonus, but it looks like due to the response of Evil Genius's 5 members trying to stop the mid push, it's a double split for Team Liquid, and they get both solo laners really deep up to these inhibitor turrets.
Jojo walks up going after Haeri. He knows he has backup coming in terms of Inspired's Gragas. Haeri with the flash out, but it's a little bit late. Jojo's still trying to take him down. Haeri can't make it a 1-for-1. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Summit has broken into the base of EG. Tier 3 turret gone before they even need Baron to do it is a really good sign here for Team Liquid. And with the pressure in the enemy base, the 2 men required for the kill on the Ryze, now Pyosik and Yeon can be left to take the Drake.
This is why I love split push, Flowers. We don't see it as often anymore with so much emphasis on these objectives that have been added to the map and the frequency with which objectives come up. But Team Liquid, even with 1 member getting picked off, because Summit is also super fed and has the Ravenous, he's able to take down bottom side inhibitor turret while Haeri dies on the top side with his heavy push, and they still got the mid turret that was up there for Yeon as well. So definitely still net positive for Team Liquid, even giving up 1 kill. The benefits of pushing all 3 lanes at once. Here's another look at him getting picked off, yeah. But we pretty much saw this. So you know the answer. It's Inspired, body slam flash in. Haeri then tries to flash to be able to go for a trade kill. I think it's fine. You know, some people want you to save flash there. I think it's fine too. Ooh, that's what we wanted to see in this replay. Was Inspired with the true support gameplay there on Gragas. Slides in to block the shot from Mr. President.
Yeah, buddy. 6-6 in kills, but a 6,000 gold lead for TL. Ssumday running up to Summit there, but Summit's pretty much unconcerned, man. He's got Sunderer, he's got Ravenous Hydra. He's doing pretty good, but he is in a 1v2 now, trying to get those vitals, trying to get the fight that he needs. Ssumday goes all out. Summit goes back in, wants to kill on Jojo, but he's not going to get it. Summit taken down. Super Mega Death Rocket flies in, but it will not find the kill this time.
This is a very good pick for Evil Geniuses because they didn't give up too much. There's not a lot that Team Liquid, well, a face check maybe.
CoreJJ jumps in. They were hoping that EG was too audacious in the way they tried to enter towards the Baron, thinking that Team Liquid was just rushing it down. But EG doesn't give them the chance.
Pyosik, possibility of a flank with a big kick here. All right, he's not going to go for it. They don't have the numbers. Summit's still dead. He needs to teleport in. 10 seconds from now for the Unleashed teleport. And Pyosik is still sneaking his way around.
Man, CoreJJ is just fearless.
Oh, big. Where is he?
Let's see it.
Where's he gone?
He's right there.
He's a wolf.
Oh, but Inspired found him over the wall. They silenced him up. Pyosik is dead. It's the Soraka silence that prevents him from doing anything there.
Oh, man. That was a fun little game of hide and seek.
Oh, CoreJJ with a clutch save on Yeon as he flies through the air.
So Pyosik was trying to play some Metal Gear Solid buy time for Summit's teleport to come up and then have some crazy kick surprise play, but he ends up just being an early respawn of Wolf Camp. It looks a little different. It's a new skin, and it also pays more actually with the collection here for Evil Geniuses.
Well, Summit's trying to get back in position in bottom lane. Remember, the inhibitor is exposed down here. Summit very strong in the side lane situation with the 2 lifesteal type of items. Technically, Divine Sunderer doesn't have lifesteal on it, but every proc, you're stealing some of that HP from champions, so I still count it. You're going to see Ssumday shoving up the top side. He has his Bramble Vest still to try to help deal with the Fiora, Sunfire Cape, and Iceborne Gauntlet. He's got a lot of armor, Kobe, but no MR whatsoever. So if Haeri ever gets to fire onto the Ksante, he can melt through.
Definitely some scary possibilities there. I think right now Team Liquid need to avoid combat until Yeon can get Infinity Edge completed on Jinx. This Jinx is actually quite close. Oh,
there it is.
There it is. Wow, they did not have to delay for long. Yeon is so fed. Now they want to get this Jinx into combat ASAP. Hex Gates will allow that. Hex Gates even closer to Baron much more quickly. Pyosik looking once again.
Wants to see if he can find FBI. Flash into the kick as FBI's in trouble. CoreJJ goes for the Abyssal Voyage, but he gets silenced before he can find it. FBI's still low. Pyosik chases Vulcan out. FBI barely kept alive. Top laner's ready to join in now as CoreJJ is going to be focused and killed down first with Haeri going next. Team Liquid tried, but then they died. It's Evil Geniuses 5v3.
Oh, Flowers, they wanted it so bad. Yeon is just so fed right now in the Jinx. They wanted the fight, but they flubbed the engage. Pyosik misses the minion with the Q, so then he just forces it anyways. Goes in, gets the kick back. Oh, never mind, Yeon.
FBI is down to 300 HP. Of course, they have Soraka. It's not going to stay that way for long. Vulcan will spam heals on their AD carry. Team Liquid now has to deal with the Baron attempt of Evil Geniuses. Inspired does not have a cast, but he has his flash. He wants to go on Yeon, but the body slam doesn't get far enough. Jojo's looking for the Jinx now. Wants the AD carry. Ssumday's right behind him, and they're going to find it, as Pyosik won't be able to pick Vulcan off either. Summit still looking for maybe something, but there's not a lot to get. They're going to trade Yeon for stopping the EG Baron. Team Liquid's 6,000 gold lead has melted down below 3K. Summit now being chased by Ssumday. He's not scared of this guy in a 1v1, but if Ssumday can lock him down, he won't. That would have been the scary part. Pyosik, nope. His mind's telling him no, and his body's saying, yeah, bro, listen to him.
Yeah, a couple of big fumbles here for Team Liquid. Chunking down this gold lead, and he gets ulted in.
Pyosik, what in the hell was that?
This man, he has had some crazy stuff going on in the last 5-10 minutes here. Pyosik, my wayward son, he is lost.
Do not carry on. Whatever you're doing right now, stop carrying on with that. Do what you were doing earlier.
All right, well, they still got the dragon out of it, but it might cost them the Baron with no smite available. Ooh, look at this, teleport to try and answer the split push too. Are they gonna go cut him off? They picked up Baron.
Death Rocket attempted steal. EG's gonna get Baron here. Down to a 1,000 gold lead for Team Liquid. The game has officially been thrown. Team Liquid struggling here for the last 5 minutes.
They're trying to salvage a mid push out of it and get a tower. They do get the tower, which excites Yeon, but that's just gonna be a little bit of gold in exchange, and Team Liquid, they are going to have to refocus quickly and focus on the Dragon Soul Flowers. That's what can still bring this right back for them. They still have a very powerful Jinx. Yes, Aphelios got some more money, you know, with the extra Baron as well. Evil Geniuses kind of building out their armory here with 3 items in Transformed Muramana, Jojo, Jayce ready to play, but Team Liquid still have a very, very strong 3-item core Jinx to fight around. If they could just set up their battle lines without all this weird walking around through Fog of War stuff and forcing fights while the rest of your team is not quite in position yet, Team Liquid need to take a breath.
And I really want to compliment Jojo on the other side, because I said at the beginning of the game, I was frustrated with the amount of times he's been getting caught this split. He got caught at level 1, he got caught again in the bottom lane, but he hasn't died since. And he's currently tied with Inspired at 75% kill participation in this game. His Jayce has got his head on straight now. So I'm kind of looking at him to land some of these big shock blasts. They're very effective on, you know, everybody, any of the 3 middle champions on the right side of your screen there, the Lee Sin, the Ryze, the Jinx, they can all be chunked out by that. Yeon does not have a Bloodthirster build, so it's harder for him to vamp that back up quickly.
I wonder, this exposed inhibitor could get a sneak attack on it. Summit on the weak side up here. EG are making a play for Summit, while Team Liquid are making a play for the inhibitor.
Yeah.
They snuck all the way through.
Evil Geniuses just rush for it. EG wants to get back. Team Liquid needs a little more damage. Yeon gets one last rocket, and now that gets him excited, so he's able to create the distance. CoreJJ's here on the front line. Ssumday's at half HP because he went all out. Team Liquid now falling back even further as EG send all 5 men to stop them. The teleport, there's only one available on Jojo if they want to try to find some sort of a cut-off angle, but there's not a lot of places to run for it. Pyosik, I was about to say some stuff. I don't have to say it now. Pyosik gets away.
Yeah, he lives this life every day, Flowers. This is nothing new. Easy little slide out there, no problem on this ult. EG, though, they got caught sleeping right there.
Yeah.
Love the call from Team Liquid, CoreJJ. They walk their way through this red quadrant of the jungle. They sneak all the way through to this exposed inhibitor. Objective acquired. Good job by Team Liquid refocusing and getting a nice objective while the enemy team had Baron. That's with Baron-empowered recalls, and they just barely snuck out enough damage. Yeon sticking around for the last explosive shot onto the inhibitor. Meanwhile, Summit then got to push back out on top side. Team Liquid balancing back out.
Ssumday not able to stop Summit from getting away there with the blast cone. 90 seconds till that Drake Soul that you were talking about, buddy. Hextech Soul, that is a big deal. Team Liquid really want to secure this. I don't want to see them waste big cooldowns. I don't want to see them waste flashes before this Drake fight.
Yeah, and they should be able to pull some really good setup by their powerful split pushing. Personally, I like trailing split push plays, which is the play where you have Fiora split push top, but you also have Ryze trail behind the Fiora, and you have your double unleash teleport, so that way you can win the top side fight as well as being able to answer on the other side of the map, and you don't have to split bottom because you already took that inhibitor. But they do the traditional 1-3-1 instead of the trailing split push here to try and keep Evil Geniuses completely boxed in. See, this bottom side just gets pushed out by super minions anyways. Yeah, you don't have to be there.
FBI can clear those away pretty effortlessly thanks to the power of Infernum's AoE. 30 seconds. Oh, they interrupt CoreJJ's back. That could be absolutely monstrous. He's dead for 12 seconds past the dragon spawn point.
Wow.
That's very, very damaging for Team Liquid's chances of being able to set this up right.
Jojo walking through the jungle and just finds a lazy Tahm Kench. Nice pick, but Team Liquid will be kicking themselves for that one. With CoreJJ dead, they still have their split push open though. Fiora, topside. Summit is really, really powerful while isolated, has the hull breaker. Late game Fiora with the Ravenous, annihilating the minion wave. He pushes it in. He's been circled in on there, going for the pick on him though.
Percent HP true damage, does not care about how many tank items Ssumday has built. Summit can just walk away from this one. Ssumday went all out. But now, what's this Drake situation gonna look like? Pyosik nearly killed. 400 HP left in the Lee Sin. Oh, nice shot from FBI. And Pyosik's unfortunate decisions continue to hamstring Team Liquid.
Australian sniper, FBI, takes him down. They get the dragon, but look at the mini-map, Flowers. Split push still getting paid here. Mid inhibitor exposed, mid inhibitor down. CoreJJ might be down again too.
Vulcan is getting jumped on by Yeon, but Yeon, you just can't target the support with FBI in your face like that. Summit's back at the base. Haeri's doing the same thing, trying to help him. Team Liquid is scattered all over the place. Summit's still looking to take down the enemy Ksante. Ssumday gets out. Now Jojo's having to use stasis. Here comes a redemption. Jojo right back into it. Summit on the chase, but he won't be able to find the kill just yet. Haeri goes for it and he finds the kill. Holy Haeri! Team Liquid trying to fight it. A beautiful repose coming out of Summit, and now he's trying to deal with Inspired. He wants to go back in for another hit, but he can't quite get that either. FBI putting him off the mop. Summit's on the run.
Oh, Team Liquid demolished the base with their split push, but Evil Geniuses will collect their heads for it. They chopped down on the gold lead, but Team Liquid, 3 inhibitors down, Flowers. You are basically pinned inside your base. Team Liquid, they may be out of playoffs, but they're not gonna let this one go. They're gonna go to Baron. You have 3 inhibitors down for Evil Geniuses. You have to defend.
Bruh, what just happened in the last 2 minutes?
This is why I love split push gaming, Flowers, and it has been taken from us in so many games with all the focus on team fighting, but they're actually coming for a little bit of a contest from Evil Geniuses' side. Outnumbered and outgunned. Evil Geniuses are still here. Inspired going for the miracle.
Not gonna happen today. No water into wine as Yeon and Team Liquid can secure themselves the Baron. Now, you've got Baron. You've got 3 inhibs down. Make it 2. That bottom one just respawned as I'm speaking. And Team Liquid grouped up as 4 here in the mid lane. Haeri's still pretty far away. He cannot Realm Warp all the way down here. He does not have a teleport either. So if you're Team Liquid, you gotta make sure you don't get caught before the Ryze can join up. Hex gates are gonna make it a little faster for him to get in range. And Summit wants to apply split pressure here on the bottom lane respawned inhib.
Yeah, great thing with those inhibitors being down at the same time for a brief second was that they got to double spawn on the other wave. And so now they can just move in with the top and mid still down, Baron buff up those super minions, and lay waste to this base. Team Liquid, time is in their favor. They just have to keep Evil Geniuses pinned down. FBI trying to clear up the waves though, and is actually doing a very good job with the Infernum.
Ssumday versus Summit here in the bottom side. Ssumday goes all out. Summit is silenced. The riposte just in time to keep him alive. CoreJJ with the immediate evac. They keep Fiora alive by a miracle. But now Pyosik has to try to get out. Cyrilda's Grudge slows him down. But the ward hop, the safeguard, gets him all the way back out of the base. Team Liquid, everybody is playing this game on the edge of the edge.
I love it. CoreJJ, Tahm Kench finds Summit, saves his life. They did get some damage onto the Nexus turrets, but they weren't able to take one. Pyosik was trying to take that top one by himself, was unable to finish it off. They don't get the inhibitor though. They're returning for that goal.
Remember, there is no flash on Inspired's Gragas. That's the big engage mechanism, really the only engage mechanism for the side of EG. Jojo nearly killed off by Haeri's Ryze. There's your Moonlight Vigil. Yeon eats the auto attack. Enchanted there by FBI, but nothing more. FBI and Vulcan doing whatever they can to try to defend this. Yeon's the one who wants to get firing time on the inhib, but he's got to be careful. You got to respect the Gragas. Up in the top side, Haeri and Summit also trying to do what they can. There, they finally get the Nexus turret. Haeri's getting focused down. They'll kill him before he can get anybody back. And now Team Liquid. Oh, God! That is huge! Team Liquid's gonna get the hell out of town. They do not want to get aced here, as Evil Geniuses will still continue to hold on.
FBI, open up, Yeon! That was one hell of a Gale Force, FBI. Flash Gale Force kills the enemy Jinx. This is the opportunity EG need.
Pyosik thinking about trying to help Summit there, but recognizing there's no way to do it. Summit's just got to keep running away, using the lunge, spamming that out. There is a super minion back in the base that's going to do a little bit of damage here to the remaining Nexus turret, but Inspired and Vulcan will deal with that. There is less than 45 seconds on yet another Drake, and that's where I'm expecting Team Liquid to head once those carries are alive.
Yeah, EG, they really needed to try and catch some stragglers there. You could tell if they were able to get any other pick, trying to get one more delayed death timer, then maybe they'd be able to deal with this. But since Team Liquid took down the inhibitor, 3 inhibitors down at once again at the same time, will double spawn those super minions. They buff each other up. It's so much pressure to deal with. EG, maybe they throw some Hail Mary towards this dragon to try and steal it, but you don't have a lot of time to work with. Because look, right now, top lane, double stack supers, those things push so quickly, and guess what? You only have 1 Nexus turret left.
It looks like it's a no contest from EG on this Drake. They finally have to give it up. The Hex Soul goes over to Team Liquid, who now doesn't really even have a gold lead. At 37 minutes into the game, plus 900 is ignorable.
But they have such a pressure lead with inhibitors down, base open, and the Hex Soul. Every time they can get some poke. Ooh.
Oh, they want Jojo, the Realm Warp, the Rune Prison, the burst. They get his Guardian Angel. They need to make sure they finish the kill on him. They mistimed the zap. Jojo's low, gonna be knocked back into the team, probably traded for Pyosik. A Guardian Angel on him now as well. Yeon wants to kite back. God, it's about to die. Inspired nearly gets him. By the shutdown. Yeon keeps kiting. Ssumday keeps chasing. He finally gets him. Team Liquid is running. But remember that Summit is back in the base. Ssumday wants to go stop him, as Haeri's the last remaining man here in the top side. Summit still looking to tear these inhibitors apart. He got the top one, he got the middle one, and we're right back to where we damn started.
Can they trap him? He has no ghost. He's Fiora though, he's too mobile. They have to deal with the minions. Evil Geniuses, they get the kills, they stall the team fight, they buy more time, but their inhibitors have been re-killed.
This game is a game.
Yeehaw! This is LCS, baby! Last day of the spring split. Team Liquid have been eliminated, so all the pressure lifted from their shoulders. They say, you know what? Let's run through split push. Try and just split push as hard as you possibly can, trading our lives for objectives, our lives for buildings.
Well, importantly, knocking down those inhibitors does give TL a very good situation for this Baron that's spawning in under 45 seconds. If they can secure that Baron, then who knows what happens?
Yeah, then what?
I don't really know. I mean, at this point, you can't really predict anything because the game has gone mad. But you know what? I'm excited to see however this one ends.
I still think it is such a big advantage for Team Liquid to constantly have 3 inhibitors killed. So when these neutral objectives come up, like you're talking about the Baron, they should be able to have an advantageous at least setup. If EG are crazy enough to rush there and try and actually fight them that far away from base, then it's going to cost you a lot. The added wrinkle is that this map is even more fun because of hex gates, so you can actually travel even quicker.
There it is. Summit has used his teleport to find a position in the bottom lane. He wants to keep split pushing, but remember that summoner spell is a huge thing to not have with the current state of the game being a macro dance. That means Team Liquid has to make use of the pressure that he's drawing down there, and that's exactly what they'll do. It's a free Baron for TL.
Baroned up split push, Flowers. You thought those minions were strong before with all the supers?
Boy.
Now they've got Baron empowered push. All you have to do for Team Liquid now is avoid the snap engage from Evil Geniuses. Buff up your super minions. Just literally stand outside this Nexus turret. Keep your distance. Deny the engage from EG, and you will win the war of attrition.
Well, remember, that bottom lane inhib is also going to respawn very quickly. About 30 seconds left on that. Ssumday jumping forward, finds a knockback onto Yeon, but Core is staying right next to the Jinx. They want to make sure that Yeon can't be engaged on. Haeri takes a Hex Gate out. He's going to go bottom and get that wave pushing up as well. Team Liquid trying to play this a little bit slower than we've seen their previous attempts in the EG base.
Good, good. That's what I'm talking about. Play it slower. Time is in your advantage. War of attrition here. Work it in. Get the next inhibitor kill. Haeri gets the minions up. Pyosik is with him. EG rotate to try and defend. Slowly but surely.
From Yeon's rockets, the range of the Jinx is going to come into play here. FBI with purple and blue. CoreJJ keeping Yeon safe. Bottom lane inhibitor cracked again. Nexus turret, oh my god, Vulcan nearly died. They get the ulti out of the Soraka. That's a pretty big resource. Redemption gonna be called down next. Rocket Poke continues coming out. Let's see if they can find the engage they're looking for. EG huddling up together. The Nexus turret nearly dead. Yeon the same. One more hit on that Nexus turret is gonna take it out, but they can't quite find it. Inspired's here in the stasis. The choppers are on. The Gragas is down. EG 4v5 as TL continues pushing. Pyosik still looking for the chance. He already used his ulti, so he's gotta be careful. Now here on the front, Ssumday's in trouble. Jojo goes after Haeri, but Team Liquid goes in. Yeon's ready to fight. Ssumday wants to chase him, but he can't quite do it. Ssumday gets the kill. It's over. It's done. Team Liquid take the game.
TL, after getting eliminated from playoffs, they deliver us one of the most exciting games we have had in quite a while. Flowers, split push, ring around the rosy, hide and seek, all contained in this single game.
EG has lost 3 games in a row here in Super Week, and with this loss, we are now guaranteed a minimum of 3 tiebreakers.
Oh, it's gonna be fun. We got fireworks, explosions lined up for the LCS.
What an absolutely